Welcome to another installment of Office Hours. Today I want to talk a little bit about the university's space and facilities needs, and what better place to do it than here at Safeco Plaza, the newest part of the University of Washington. As you already know, back in August we purchased this facility and with it gained 550,000 square feet of office space, plus a variety of facilities around it that will allow us to do development in the future. This property also provides the university with a chance to interact more effectively with the U District, to be a better partner in developing and sustaining this wonderful part of our community. Well, here we are on the top of the Safeco Tower on the 22nd floor. It has, as you can see behind me, a spectacular view of campus. You look right back down onto the Seattle campus and can really see all of the great details of our wonderful community. It's just great space up here. You know, the challenge that the university faces with space and providing all of our faculty and staff and students with the kinds of physical resources they need is one of the most pressing issues facing the university. One of the reasons that I was so excited about the opportunity with the Safeco Tower is because many of you may already know, we lease right now 1 million square feet of space all over the greater Seattle area, everywhere from Tacoma to Bothell, and of course a great deal right here in the greater Seattle area. By purchasing the Safeco Tower and the properties adjacent to it, we're able to consolidate a lot of those enterprises that are out there now surrounding us into the university district and provide them with very good space. It also will allow us to control our costs over the long run because we'll own this space. We won't have to be held hostage to the vagaries of real estate prices and rents as they go up. But most importantly, I think, is the opportunity to move off of the main part of the Seattle campus some of the back office operations, some of the administrative components, some of those things that don't necessarily deliver directly to the students and the faculty the kinds of services that they need. What that will do over the long run is it'll allow us then to expand the academic programs onto campus, onto the spaces that are vacated down there. It'll free up room for students and for faculty to do the work that they're supposed to be doing on the core of our campus and not spread all over the greater Seattle area. As everyone in the university community knows, the University of Washington has some serious space challenges. The work that we conduct now is fundamentally different than that existed when most of our buildings were built. We've had to adapt many of our buildings. We've had to build some brand new ones. We've had to grow. We need more space for our teaching, for our research, and for our service to our students and to the community. A great example of those changing needs is the new law school, Gates Hall, which is right outside the window here, right over my shoulder. Gates Hall, of course, was built to accommodate the new modes of teaching in the law school. The law school instruction now is interactive. It allows faculty and students to work together in completely different ways, provides new and beautiful moot court facilities, and opportunities for students to work together in a much more collegial environment. Another great example, of course, is what we're doing in South Lake Union, just right over here out this window. The South Lake Union campus of the university is focused primarily on our biomedical work. Of course, we rank among the finest universities in the world in terms of biomedical research, and having the right facilities, having the opportunity for our faculty and students to work together in world-class facilities is essential to maintaining that position. Also in South Lake Union, of course, we have the advantage of getting to work with the Fred Hutchinson Cancer Center, with the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, with a variety of other biomedical providers and researchers that are already in that community. So we're part of establishing a world-class biotech community right here in the city of Seattle. We simply don't have space on the Seattle campus or in the adjacent facilities to expand like we do down there. So by building a whole new set of facilities in that part of the city, we're allowing the university to be prepared for the 21st century. One of the great challenges for us, of course, is finding ways to finance new capital construction and the renovation of existing facilities. In the past, we were completely dependent upon the state for capital budget funding, and in many ways we still are. This year, for example, we've had some great support from Governor Gregoire as we've been able to increase our share of the state's capital outlay. Should that budget come to fruition in this legislative session, we're going to be in a much better position next year than we've been in the past to help with our facilities. But that's simply not enough. We have to have much more creative ways to deal with all of our buildings and grounds. The Safeco building, for example, is being funded without state dollars. The way we're paying for this structure is through that consolidation of all those leases I mentioned earlier, taking the dollars that we have been paying in rent to use to pay for debt service here in this building. We certainly hope that the state will help us with some of the operation and maintenance costs of the building, and we're working with the governor and her people on that as well. But similarly, we have to find some new ways to take on some of these expenses ourselves. We're going to be building in the near future, for example, a new business school complex. That complex will require some state support, it'll require the university to take on some new debt, and it's going to require new giving from our donors and supporters. We've been making great progress in all three of those fronts, and I'm confident that in a very short while we're going to be breaking ground for those new buildings. One of the issues we're working on in the legislative session also this year is the ability to expand our debt capacity so that the university can in fact engage in more entrepreneurial activities to build some of these buildings on our own. We're excited about that, and so far the bill is receiving great support in the legislature. While the university purchased the Safeco properties back in August, we haven't taken ownership of the facilities yet because Safeco will continue to lease them from us for about 18 months after that period. So about this time next year, we'll have full ownership and occupancy of the towers. But that doesn't mean that we haven't started using them. In fact, this auditorium right here was the site just a few weeks ago of a UW Foundation Board meeting that was just a wonderful way to kick off this period. At that meeting, we announced that we'd reached the $2 billion goal of our capital campaign, quite a milestone. But we also decided at that very same meeting that we would extend the goal of the campaign to $2.5 billion. With that goal, we'll be launching our Students First campaign to raise millions and millions of dollars for scholarships to support our students and continue driving forward to add more funding for faculty chairs, for departmental operations, and for new facilities. After my last office hours posting, I received email from a good number of you. I really appreciate that. It gives me a chance to know what's on your mind and to hear your thoughts and opinions. An office hours message board is available to post your thoughts. Visit washington.edu/president, or you can email me at prez@u.washington.edu. Well, thanks for taking time to watch this month's office hours. I hope you found it useful and informative and came to know a little bit more about the university's challenges and opportunities with our facilities. I also hope you'll take time to communicate with me either via email or the new website that I listed. Thanks very much for taking time.